please, come in. Director Sandberg. Dylan Grazer. And Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam. There he is.
Yay! We made it!
Yay! Woo! Hello.
Congratulations, all of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
It looks so cool, and we're very excited.
Thank you.
So I guess I would just like to start with a question. Zachary, why was this the right time for Shazam?
Oh man, as I just said earlier, have you seen the news recently? You know, there's so much craziness in the world, right? But there's a lot of good too, and I think stories like this are always necessary. I think there are stories that are full of hope and optimism and wish fulfillment, and I think, you know, it's really cool that DC has made such incredible films up to this point, and as you know, then with Wonder Woman, finding levity and heart in that, and seeing the world really just kind of explode with love for Gal and for that franchise. And I think that Shazam is chock full of heart and levity, and David is such an auteur and an artist, and you know, he and Maxime, I think, painted a lot of really incredible frames to capture all of that optimism and hope. And these really talented young men in Jack and Asher bringing to life really, you know, the kind of heartbeat of the whole movie. It's a family movie down at the heart of it. And it has a lot of that young heart to carry you. And I fortunately am just a man child, so I get to play a 14-year-old inside, which is a lot of fun. And that's the kind of story that I think we need smiles. You know, and it's also, there's some really bad stuff that we do in the movie too. I mean, there's some really cool action. And it's just kind of crafting all that together. But, you know, David, why now? Why did Shazam, why is it now?
Well, there's never a bad time to tell a good story.
That's the, see, he told it so much quicker.
And actually, following up on what both of you are saying, David, what do you think will make Shazam, what makes it special in the superhero genre? Why?
It's that we get to see a child live out being a superhero. That he, not only does he become an adult, which is a great story in itself, which we saw in the movie Big, but he actually gets superpowers and gets to be a superhero and learn his powers and learn what it's like to be a superhero.
I'd like to ask Jack and Asher to follow up on that. And what did you enjoy about being a part of Shazam?
Well, like David just said, it's a very unique story, and it does have that big essence, like the movie with Tom Hanks. It has that essence, and it's lighthearted, and it's not as dark as a normal superhero movie would be. It's you know, it's got levity, and it's lighthearted, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story, and it's you know, it's not like Zachary Levi is trying to be a badass. It's just like he's trying to figure out, and he's a 14-year-old being a superhero. So.
Wait, you saying I wasn't a badass?
Well, no, you're not a badass. You had your badass moments, but you were never a badass all the way through.
Yeah, you know, it's different. You know, it's all about wish fulfillment. You know, it's this kid that went from just wanting a family and, you know, finds his family and just somehow gets these amazing superpowers and can fly and can lift cars and do whatnot. So it's just, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it.
Definitely. We have the first question over here.
Hi David, could you tell us more about the villain Thaddeus Savannah and why Mark Strong was selected to play him? He's not here right now.
Well, Mark Strong is just awesome in everything he is. So it was just a pleasure to work with him. And he just had a lot of fun being a bad guy. It seemed like he really enjoyed it, which is very nice to see in a movie where you have someone who, I mean, he has his motivations, but it's also like he has really fun with being a bad guy. I don't know how much I can tell you at this point, because, I mean, yeah, we just released a trailer, but so far it's more about just introducing the Shazam character, and yeah, there's like one shot of Dr. Savannah in it. But we'll definitely see more of Savannah and what he can do later on.
Hi, I'm Victoria from Brazil.
Hi.
I'd like to know about you, Zachary, and you, Asher. How is it to play the same character? Is it a challenge for you? And to Jack, if it's a challenge to deal with two Billys.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely challenge involved. You know, trying to match each other's energy and movements as best you can. I mean, you know, we're both really blessed in that we were both working and busy and doing stuff all the way up until when we started working together. So that's the, you know, double-edged sword. You're working on other stuff, so we didn't get that much time. But we got some rehearsals. Oh wow, I got. We got some rehearsals in, and we already just, you know, kind of just we had a meal to, like, me and David and Asher sat down for the first time. We had already met each other before that, and I was already very impressed by him as a young man, and I was very excited that the two of us, you know, he's an actor, dancer, singer. I'm an actor, dancer, singer. We both worked for Disney. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff going on. But then we just got to break bread and get to know each other and talk to each other and talk about the character and rehearse some scenes, and you know, and then you're just trusting that the Swede with the beard is gonna put it all together and make it all work. And that's also a really beautiful experience because, you know, every movie as an actor, it's a big trust fall with the director. That's what you're doing, you know, and they have the pieces of the puzzle and they're asking you to do a specific job, and that was a really awesome thing to be able to do. It was, the only bummer was that Asher and I never ever get to work together because it's either me or it's him, you know. Asher, any specific thoughts on that?
I mean, he really is a kid, though. That's the thing. He's a kid and an adult, and that is Zach. It is exactly Zach. You know, he's goofy, he's funny, he makes me laugh. And I think when we had that sit down with David in Toronto, I was kind of nervous. You know, I was like, how is this gonna work? I mean, he's playing me as a kid, so you know, I was just wondering, how is he gonna do that? Is it gonna be good? And
well, we have yet to see. I don't know. I could have botched that whole program, bro. I don't know.
Buy that trailer. But he's great. I had a blast, you know, hanging out with him and getting to know him.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Jack, what was it like working with two Billies?
Oh, it was good because, well, as we've mentioned a billion times, what's your name again? Zach.
Yeah.
Zach captivates a kid so perfectly. So there was not really that much of a difference between working with Asher and with Zach, because it was two different kids, two kids, and so it was just fun all the way through.
Hi, this is Sebastian from Argentina. Shazam is an acronym for heroes and gods from Greek mythology. Are you sticking to the same origin story, considering that in the universe they exist? And also, for a follow-up to that question, does the movie have in the same universe as the DCEU?
Yes and yes. No, we're sticking to the same origin, so it's the same gods and Zeus and Atlas and Solomon, all those guys. They give them
Atlas,
power.
Solomon, those guys, you know.
You know, the old team. And yeah, it is taking place in the same universe, and it's that same world. So, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, they're all real. And, you know, you get characters like Freddy, who's like, of course, a big fan of those real characters, and who's like an expert on them, which is fun to see, because that's, you know, if they were real, you would have the same kind of fans that you have now, but with just that add extra layer.
Hi, Nick from Italy. First of all, I love the trailer.
Thanks.
Yeah, I really love it. Judging from the trailer, it seems like you, David, tried to keep the production as practical as you could, at least for judging from what we saw. Could you talk a little bit about the challenges of the filming process, and even about the fact that you made a jump from a smaller movie to a big budget movie? You know?
Yeah, no, we did try and keep everything as practical as possible, blowing stuff up and doing some pretty insane stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because, I mean, not only does it look more real, but it's a lot more fun. Because I discovered pretty quickly that when you're shooting just blue screen stuff, it gets boring real quick. Yeah, I mean, that was the big challenge for me, going from smaller movies like Annabelle Creation and Lights Out, where it's pretty much all practical, and you just cut the movie together and it's kind of done. And on this one, it's like there's so many like because even though you shoot it practically, there's a lot of like painting out wires and filling in stuff and changing things. So there's so many shots that need little VFX tweaks and stuff before you can really show the movie. So it just everything takes longer. Shooting it takes longer, and then post-production takes longer. But otherwise, it's the same kind of storytelling as in any movie, really.
I'd like to talk a bit about the character of Shazam. I don't know if this works.
You look like Bob Barker.
I
The
do.
Price is Right. The long Monica.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
And the price is...
$1, Bob.
How can we get $1?
Nothing anymore. Even the 99-cent store is not even. Anyway.
There's a load of rubbish. There's nothing there but 99 cents. I just need to talk a bit more about that character. He must be such a fun character to play.
It is. I mean, the movie is about wish fulfillment. It is personal wish fulfillment. I think all children grew up, wishing I could be a superhero of some kind. I still, to this day, as an adult, still kind of dream that maybe I might wake up and I had genes that mutated and I can teleport or something. I mean, I'm not kidding, guys. These are real things. Don't we all? Don't you watch these movies and go, wouldn't that be fucking cool? I'd like to walk through a wall. I mean, if there was something cool on the other side, but the point is, it's all, for me personally, it's huge wish fulfillment, and part of the reason why is because he's unique in that he's, like we talked about earlier, there are very few characters in all of comicdom, DC or Marvel or otherwise or whatever, that are super stoked to be super powered. That aren't sitting around, going, oh man, I gotta save the world again. They're like, oh my gosh, I get to save the world? That's so much fun. And also learning the powers, the whole, like this, we get a lot of great origin story out of this film, and Billy learning his powers as Shazam, and it's hysterical. And that's the kind of stuff that I just get to go to work and be excited to go to work, because I know it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be funny, and it's gonna have heart, and I get to fucking fly. I mean, come on, who doesn't? Even though teleportation is still a better power, and we can talk about that later, but flight is still dope, and super strength and all of these things. I mean, it's just a gas, man. It's and to get to not have to, when you get a job this cool, you want to be excited when you go to work. But if you have to play a really brooding, like, oh, I don't. I'm not going to talk about any other characters. Anyway, the point is, when you start getting really brooding, you have to throttle yourself down and get really broody. Well, I didn't have to do that. I just got to come to work and put on a super suit and boots and gauntlets and a cape, and the dang thing lights up. For crying in the night, it lights up. I'm going to have little toys of me and kids at Halloween. They're going to be dressed up like me. I mean, how do you take all of that and try and be broody? I don't want to be broody. I want to be like, are you kidding me? This is the coolest thing ever. And that's who Billy is when he's in that phase. Because wouldn't you be? If you were 14 and all of a sudden somebody just gave you a switch and you could go fly, come on, guys. You'd love it. You'd love it.
I'm just wondering if David had to hold him back. Did you have to hold Zach back?
I don't know if you can. But, no, I mean, it was more of a thing of just doing many takes and see what he brought to it, because no two takes were ever the same. And sometimes letting the camera, waiting with the same cut just to see what's he going to do, So it was, just letting him do his thing.
I think we have another question over here.
Adriano, Italy. But at the same time, the movie also seems to address the fact that sometimes being a kid can be challenging and difficult. I don't want to use the word message, but what would you like the audience, especially the young one, will take away watching Shazam?
What, you said you didn't want to use the word what?
A message. What would you like?
Is
there a message you would like to
Asher?
A message?
Yeah.
For young kids, right?
Is your bottle ready?
For kids or anyone really, right? What is or specifically for young kids?
No, the movie really shows that being a kid can be challenging. They come from shelter.
Oh, I know.
Go, Jack, go.
When you find your calling, life becomes a lot easier.
That's pretty
It's
good.
kind of because, he found that he is a superhero, and then he felt like that was his calling, and he found himself because he is scoundrel on the street. I wouldn't say scoundrel. He was a kid on the street, and
You can say scoundrel, like a Han Solo kind of scoundrel on the streets.
yeah, and like an
Hey,
orphan,
Caber.
an orphan on the streets, and then when he found us at the foster home, and then he also discovered a superpower at the same time. It was like, wow, my life is coming together.
Yeah, and it is very much about family and
Yeah.
sort of the adopted family. That family isn't necessarily about blood, but you know who you choose to be your family with.
It's about love, guys.
Very nice. Yes.
Ash? You didn't get to answer that yet?
I did not. You guys kind of stole all my ideas.
Little scoundrel.
Hugo?
I mean, but the movie really hits you from the heart, you know? I mean, it's this kid that has nothing, and, you know, all he wants is family. And there's kids out there that don't, you know, have a family. You know, they're also out on the streets just wishing for a better life. And just, this movie is all about wish fulfillment, you know?
So you were saying that you could not do like 2 takes was same, right? So I was going to ask about how much of improvisation you allowed to them to do, and also how was the atmosphere of the set, how the vibe on the set, and if you can talk about some like an episode or something.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of improvisation, and Zach is also like he always has his music playing, kind of like he has his Bluetooth speaker to like keep the mood up and whatever, so you can hear him coming from like a mile away. So, oh yeah, he's on his way. You can hear like 80s pop songs playing. No, so it was a fun set.
I mean, if I could have a DJ on a movie set at all times just playing music, I would do that. I think music makes life better, personally. I know I was probably pissing off about like all told, there are probably 10 people in the crew that were constantly like, that fucking guy, if he would just stop playing his music, I'm trying to work right now. But overall, the vibe, I felt like the vibe was fun and good. It was cold. We were in Toronto all during the winter, and that was tough. But we had a good time. Yeah. And then what was the beginning part of that question?
Improvisation.
Oh, the improvisation. Yeah. Yeah, we got to improv a good bit. I mean, did you guys get to improv?
I mean, when I was on set with David, I mean, he allows all of us to use our voice and just, he asked, what do you think? Do you think this is good? I mean, it's like, what do you think? And I think that's really cool, because I've been on sets where I don't get to use my voice, and my opinion doesn't matter, so I appreciate that.
But I'm just curious, Asher, Jack, it must have been hard sometimes to keep a straight face around.
Yeah.
It was hard for me both of them. I mean, before I do a scene, I have Jack right next to me making me laugh, doing like his funny noises.
I'm unprofessional sometimes.
He's very unprofessional.
Off camera,
He's incredibly
I'm kind of a dick
unprofessional.
off camera. No, but I remember some of the scenes that me and Zach were doing outside. We were kind of getting delusional out there in the cold. We were getting restless, and so
It was like a revenant.
There were so there was a lot of improv and a lot of laughs. Definitely, for sure. Because we couldn't enunciate at all because our mouths were frozen.
It was that cold.
There was
that cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Wow.
Hi. How do you deal with the fact that Shazam is much lighter than the other movies from the DC universe?
Well, I mean, there have been lighter moments certainly in previous films. And I think there's room for all kinds of heroes, the broody, dark ones, and then the lighter ones, which you need sort of all of it, I think.
But I would just to continue what David was saying. There are so many, like in Justice League, some of my favorite moments were, the Flash and, Ezra's charm doing that, and Jason, the Aquaman moment, like a lot of those levity moments. I thought actually everybody had some of them. Even Batman had some really kind of fun moments in that. And Wonder Woman obviously showed so much heart and levity in that movie and how successful that was. And watching the trailers that we got to see, or even the little sneak peeks of Wonder Woman 1984 and Aquaman, I think it's going to sit it all sits well in that same spot. Yeah.
We have a question over here.
Hi, this is a question for Zach. What was the experience of getting your own super suit like, and how was it wearing it kind of day in, day out?
The Well, that I get to have my own super suit is beyond dope, bro. I can't even tell you. It is like total wish fulfillment. It is so cool. The wearing it, on the other hand, took a little getting used to. It's super, super, super tight, like beyond tight, and because it didn't keep out any of the cold, but also didn't keep me cool either. Like we'd be on stage shooting and I'd be overheating, but then in the cold of the exterior at night, I'd have to be wearing multiple layers. I was like an Outback bloomin' onion. Like I had so many layers on underneath, and we had heaters and things, and so it was. For a little bit, it was kind of claustrophobic. It took a little getting used to, and just like literally some meditation sometime, and just be like, just breathe, just be one with the suit, and just on a logistics level, it required an assistant to unzip my crotchal area in order to go number one, and if I needed to number two it, I had to take the whole damn thing off. So it's a deal, but I'll take all of that in order to have a super suit. Like small prices to pay, you know what I mean?
So now that we know how to take the suit off, I think we can end the press conference.
All right!
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.